A new neighborhood can mean new friendships.
The Fullers were excited to have other kids their age to kind of play with.
But when a child's joke becomes the parent's problem...
Hey, what's so funny? Nothing. How is this all right?
New friends become fierce enemies.
Dad!
Just back and forth with phone calls.
I'll tell you something!
Shut up!
And then she had to deal with some man, that had psychological problems.
You want me to show you?
I could tell that he was starting to be a ticking time bomb.
Whose side are you on, anyway?
That's when he made a decision to cross that line.
There was nothing you could do to reel it back in.
Like a snowball headed for hell.
You are crazy!
You did this!
The close-knit community that's as peaceful as it sounds.
The county is actually the oldest county in the state of Texas. We've got a rich history of people that love living here.
The neighborhood is home to many quiet, kind-hearted families.
A lot of people go to church together and have little congregations at baseball and football.
Yes! Thanks, Cody!
Annette and Nathan Copeland came out here a few years ago to build a better life for their two children, Courtney and Cody.
They had lived in the big city of Houston, and they did not like the crime, and they decided that they wanted to move to Lovelady. It's a small little town in the country.
My dad was handicapped, and it was supposed to be easier on him.
Nathan and Annette used to own an air conditioning business. Now Nathan's retired after a neurological condition left him unable to work. Annette is the librarian at the local elementary school.
My sister Annette would do anything for you, and he just loved his family. He loved his wife, Annette, loved both his kids.
Growing up in Lovelady, it was a fun place for a country kid. And you go fishing, you go hunting, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, good boy.
Neighbor Connie Krausen knows the Copelands well.
Good, thanks.
What brings you by?
Oh, just wanted to see how you doing and if you're still up for the cookout this weekend.
I lived in the Lovelady area with my husband, John, who is now deceased, and resided on a triangle with the Copelands.
And now, a new family has come to Lovelady in search of their own little slice of heaven.
Let's be the new neighbors.
Finally. I think they got kids. Look, take a look. We say hi?
Yeah, let's go say hi, guys.
Barney Roy Fuller Jr. and his wife, Linda, can't wait to start a new life in the country with their children, Bonnie and Jacob.
Mrs. Fuller was always really nice, quiet. She was just a really nice, sweet mom. Mr. Fuller, I would say, was more of the fun, rambunctious of the two. He'd always let us stay up and play games when I was invited over.
Hi.
Some people called him Barney. We knew him as Roy.
Oh, Barney Roy Fuller.
Hi, we're Nathan.
For the Copelands, the new neighbors come with an added bonus.
Annette was excited when they first moved in because they did have two children, a girl and a boy, and they were close to Cody's age.
Yeah. You want to come see our chickens?
You have chickens?
Yeah.
Dad, can we go see their chickens?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
You guys are gonna love it here.
It looks like the beginning of a beautiful friendship. But looks can be deceiving.
Oh, you're right now, Harry. You want me to show you?
In no time at all three families become fast friends.
Yeah, come here, Quasar.
Everybody got together, we had barbecues.
And it's not just the adults who hit it off.
Oh, what's fine. Hey, what's so funny? Nothing. It's a secret.
Some secrets don't stay buried for long, especially the naughty ones.
Hey, how was school today? Boring.
It all families, the older ones, writing notes.
Hey, don't look at that.
Where did you learn this from?
The note Annette finds in Cody's pocket is far too mature for his age.
Your daddy's doing this to my mama. Just typical teenage insults.
Bonnie started it.
Well, I'm putting a stop to it. Go to your room now. These are the kind of things kids learn from their parents.
Annette, it's teenagers. You're only going to make it worse if you get involved.
This is unacceptable.
Usually kids, when left alone, will resolve their problems. It seems to always escalate when parents get involved in children issues.
I think it's important we talk to our kids about this. As parents, we have to lead.
Annette kind of did all the talking and was more the one that wore the pants in the family, you might say.
It's just kids being kids. It'll blow over in a week.
My children never used this kind of language until they started hanging around Bonnie and Jacob.
Excuse me. You saying my kids are trash?
I'm saying you need to keep a closer eye on them.
So that's...
Roy was very dominant.
I think you need to leave now.
If the adults are having a problem, it's not affecting the kids. At least, not yet.
I'm the king of the castle.
My papa, which was Mom's dad, he'd come over and wanted to build us a tree fort.
It's cool, right?
Not everyone thinks the tree house is a good idea.
Well, my grandpa built it for us. Yeah.
Get down here before you break your necks. Shut your dog up before I do. This is your idea. Build a spy house next door so you can keep your eye on the trash. Get inside.
My father-in-law built it for the kids.
Oh, yeah. Right over the fence. How convenient.
Barney, it's...
Why would you think that somebody would build a treehouse to watch you? Do you really think you're that important?
Bernie, they're just kids. I know what they are.
The family tries to put the confrontation behind them, but that won't be easy.
Mom! Okay, come on, get down. Mom, get down, come on, get down.
Shots, one after the other.
And now, the Copelands think they're under attack.
911, what's your emergency?
Someone's shooting at us.
Put the weapon down, sir. Gun down now. What the hell is going on? This your property? Yeah, it's my property all the way down there. I'm just shooting targets.
People in Texas routinely practice with their guns and target practice, and it's not unusual at all.
I'm on my property, right?
You need to relax. It's not against the law to target shooting your own property.
How is this all right?
After years of peace and quiet, the calm in the Copeland house is now shattered.
It's nobody's business what I do on my yard.
It is my business when our kids are involved.
It's not.
Yes, it is, you know.
Hey, he's right. No laws are being broken.
How is this okay?
The visit from the police only makes things
time. Mr. Fuller felt attacked himself. Miss Copeland had gone after him.
How can this... Let's go.
And their beautiful life in the country is about to get very ugly.
Not you!
Dad on the Fuller side, Mom on the Copeland side. They started yaying back and forth, and it just started escalating to the point where it was really getting nasty.
The Copelands were happy to welcome the Fullers into the neighborhood until childish insults led to adult confrontations.
You're saying my kids are trash?
I'm saying you need to keep a closer eye on them.
Now, no one is immune to the tension, not even the kids.
Me and Jacob, you know, we're neighborly, being friendly, and hung out and had fun.
So, your dad's nice. How many chickens you guys are getting?
I don't know, probably more than you guys.
Ah, nice.
Hey, Cody! Come here. I think it's best you find another good place to go play.
Why?
Because I don't want you telling your mom what's going on in this house. I don't want her brainwashed little spies coming around here. What? Just go!
It was a little frightening. So I'd go over to the house and told Mom and Dad what he had said, and
Mr. Fuller said you were brainwashing me and told me to leave.
I told you that man's unhinged.
my parents just kind of told me to just stay away from it, you know, leave it alone.
We don't want you going over to the Fuller house anymore.
Keep away from them, including their kids.
But why? Why?
I wasn't aware of any issues between me and Jacob. Only issue was Barney.
The Copelands believe Barney Fuller is a threat to their family.
Once things really started up big time.
Barney feels the Copelands are looking down on his family.
Roy was getting very worked up. I feel that they were both in the same boat. They should have just left everything alone.
It's no longer the peaceful neighborhood everyone used to love.
Barney liked to target shoot anytime. It didn't matter when. It could be 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and he'd fire anywhere from 20 to 100 rounds and laugh about it.
Could you tell him to stop?
The shooting was constant. You definitely felt like you were a prisoner.
Who the hell target practices at dark? You can't see where you're shooting.
And now, Barney's target seems to be moving closer to home.
He shot our house. He aimed for our house and he shot it. And you would see on a gun range target.
911, what's your emergency?
Our neighbor's trying to kill us!
Things went downhill and they seemed to have gone downhill fast. It just seemed like it was one thing after the other. My mom had called the cops because there were like 4 or 5 bullet holes in the corner of our house.
Barney Fuller did this. He's been shooting like a madman the whole time.
Did you actually see him do this? We heard it.
You would think that they could take the bullet fragments and figure it out, but they acted like there was nothing that they could do about it. We couldn't prove that it was him. We didn't actually see him shoot the house. There was essentially no physical proof that Mr. Fuller had shot our house.
To be honest, those bullet holes could have been made by anybody.
Back us up. Tell him what a threat he is.
And this is your battle.
The story was getting very tiresome. My husband and I really thought that she was calling the law mainly to aggravate him because he was of no threat at that time. He wasn't shooting at anyone.
Oh, the cops on me. I'm doing nothing wrong. Sir.
Roy did not like seeing the sheriffs come up, and we knew it was aggravating him more and more and more every time she called the law.
Hey, God! There's nothing we can do
With
here.
no evidence pointing directly to Barney, police leave without pressing any charges. Barney and his family try to move on with their lives.
No, it's my turn.
For the last time, I swear.
Okay, well, it's my turn again. No!
But the Copeland's dog, Katie, has other ideas.
Dad!
The Copeland's dog had went over to the Fuller's house at one time and allegedly was killing some of Mr. Fuller's chickens.
Your dog killed my chickens! Go! Only because your chickens are in my yard. It's on you!
It's not on me! I've got dead chickens as well!
Once again, police are called.
Shooting all the time.
Calm
That's
down.
all you do.
Shooting what?
Shooting my
listen,
house.
Listen, you're in a...
Shooting my house, Barney.
neighbors.
Want me to show you?
neighbors
Want
getting
me to show you?
It's in my yard. Or don't you come near my driveway.
Stop!
Shut your mouth!
Shut up!
Crazy
You make
mother.
me shut up!
It was constantly some kind of a riff, just on and on and on.
Want me to show you? Want me to show you?
If you have a mosquito bite and you pick at it, scratching it and scratching it, it's gonna get infected.
Kids, do you understand?
That's gonna kill your butt.
Everyone in the neighborhood is afraid of how far the feud will go. And on New Year's Eve, they find out.
Oh, when's New Year's?
Yeah.
When is New Year's? Midnight?
I'll get it.
You got it?
Hello?
Probably 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And it was Barney and said, hey, I need to talk to your mom. I said, no, you don't need to talk to my mom.
Put your pig of a mother on the phone.
Dad, what should I do?
That's when I told my dad, I said, hey, he's wanting to talk to mom. Well, Dad had put it on speakerphone.
Anything he has to say, he can say it all.
What do you want, Barney?
I just called to say Happy New Year's Eve. I'm gonna kill you all.
My dad was actually set back at it. Wow, this is really getting serious, you know. I think my mom was just more in shock. Probably more like a realization of, oh, it's fixing to happen.
I'm gonna kill you all.
At this point, things are really going bad.
An escalating conflict has led to Barney Fuller threatening to kill his neighbor, Annette Copeland, on New Year's Eve.
Fuller was calling on the house phone. He would talk bad to my sister. He would threaten her.
We currently have one of our officers in the home at the moment.
But are you going to do something about it or not?
The Copelands demand the police take action.
Mr. Fuller put a death threat out there and was going to act on it.
Barney has finally gone too far.
Barney was arrested and charged with, I believe it was a terroristic threat.
What happened? He's gonna be okay, right?
Even though Barney is charged, he's released on bail until the case goes to court.
How can this be happening?
The sheriff's department at that time just didn't feel that there was anything more they could do.
Barney, come inside.
Once Barney got back, the fire was poked. It was wartime then.
Barney feels like Annette is using the police to harass him, and he won't take it much longer.
And I told her, Annette, quit calling the law. The man isn't doing anything to hurt anybody. Leave it alone.
Annette will do whatever is necessary to keep her family.
They were worried about it, but they didn't ever show that towards their kids. Always make sure your kids feel safe.
Annette takes out a restraining order against Barney.
You've got to be kidding me.
The restraining order requires him to be 300 yards from the Copelands at all times. His home is only 200 yards away.
At some point, Mr. Fuller said, "This is ridiculous. This is my home. I'm staying, not being moved off my own land."
You think 300 yards is enough? I'll show you what's enough. Barney! Barney!
Nathan, don't!
He would holler things out the window or shoot the bird. He was taunting us from our own yard. So you definitely felt restricted or like a prisoner, that you had to stay in the house just to stay away from this guy.
And Barney's continuous shooting makes things worse for everyone.
How can he be allowed to just roam free?
It's a good thing for her that Barney isn't the only one who's armed.
Annette, put the gun down.
She had a job. She had 2 children that she had to take care of. She had a lot on her shoulders. And then she had to deal with some man that had psychological problems. It was a lot.
Annette and Barney have their sights set on each other, but someone else may be next in the line of fire.
Yeah.
We were out there in the yard. You know, if we lived in the country, the dog wouldn't stay on no leash or nothing like that. And
Ready? Ready for this one?
we were sitting there in the yard doing yard work one day, and the dog took off.
Wait, come back!
No, stay here. You can't go over there.
Take in the fact that I couldn't see Katie, our dog, anymore. Didn't make sense to me, like, what had happened.
We could hear that dog yelping, and we knew what had happened.
And he put her in the bag. And then put the bag in the back of his truck and took off with her.
Once again, the police are called in, but there's no sign of Katie the dog or proof of what happened.
I think Barney shot her as a message to us. More like, stay away from me, keep your stuff away from me. Just stay away. It was going to hell in a handbasket.
That one.
I believe it was a... And you just hear this loud boom. And then everything went dark.
You keep calling the cops on me. I'm doing nothing wrong.
It was definitely out of control. It was more than out of control.
The feud between Annette and Barney has escalated into an all-out war.
And we were sitting there watching a movie, and we heard a gunshot go off. The next thing you know, fire went off.
Annette is convinced Barney is behind the attack.
You could have made a clear shot right there from where I was standing.
I didn't shoot the transformer from my porch.
Shoot that transformer from where they said I did. It was kind of a nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Nonetheless, it looks like there will be no escape for Barney this time.
Sir?
We contacted the power company. They assisted us on helping collect the evidence from the transformer where a bullet was shot into it.
You're sure this bullet didn't come from your gun? We'll be back.
That evidence was collected and sent to a lab.
Nathan and Annette hope this will be enough to finally put an end to Barney's tyranny.
It was definitely a huge relief. I was so excited. That made my day, my week, my month, my year. I couldn't wait to go home. I just knew he wasn't going to be there.
But their hopes are dashed.
The DA's office didn't think with that lab result there was enough to execute a search warrant into the house to look for a particular weapon, since the bullet didn't.
To one of Fuller's guns, there's no case and no trial.
This is ridiculous.
Sir, take it easy.
Somebody had to die before you do anything about it.
Shut the house.
Folks, I'm sorry. My hands are tied.
And the sheriff's office kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, well, I hate to tell you this, but the only way we can do anything about Barney is if he kills one of y'all.
It's unbelievable.
News of the feud spreads through the community and comes right back to roost in Barney's backyard.
Oh, you're home early? Yeah, I decided not to stay late today. The kids at school are teasing me. They're saying Dad's a wacko.
You see what you've done?
Don't you start with me.
Barney's life is disintegrating before his eyes.
Maybe these were really just prideful people that were going to sink their heels in, bury their roots deep, and they were going to fight it out to the end.
The feud has turned the neighborhood into a powder keg. And the spark ignites when an earlier offense comes. He receives a summons to appear in court for threatening Annette on New Year's Eve.
What do you want, Barney?
I'm gonna kill you all.
Son of a...
Barney assumed the threat he made was forgotten about.
Barney, what's going on?
Trying to ruin my life is what's going on.
But now he has to face the consequences in court.
Roy was very upset over getting the summons.
Barney, you need to just calm down.
Don't. Don't.
And I'll never forget it. I seen his face, and I said, and he just had an evil look in his eye. And I remember my parents, you know, hey, something ain't right.
Go inside.
He was getting very worked up, and life in general.
Everybody's gotta know how I fix it. I can't take this anymore. Then you can take it anymore. William, you can't take it anymore. Well, you're not the one going to jail, are you?
He was aggravating himself into a pickle.
That's right. Leave me. See if I care.
He got very, very angry at the world And Linda and her children fled because she was afraid for their own lives.
And that's when he made a decision to cross that line.
I would just tell my dad, "Good night, I love you." And this night, he actually wanted a hug. So I hugged my mom, told her, "Good night, I love you." And then I hugged my dad, and I told him, "Good night, and I love you."
Dad, could you leave the light on, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Little did we know that night was going to change our lives forever. Probably about 1 o'clock, you could hear shots.
You come up the driveway, shooting.
It's like a snowball headed for hell.
There will be a shootout.
I've been in law enforcement over 32 years, and this is probably one of the most tragic cases I can recall.
On my land.
After years of fighting and countless calls to the police, the stage has been set for final confrontation between the Copelands.
He left his house with, as we know it, a long gun and a handgun. As he neared the Copeland house, he fired into the house with multiple rounds.
There was a gun within Nathan's reach.
No, don't do it. Don't do it! Oh my God!
Started hearing bullets going through the house. One bullet led to probably 50, 60, I don't know.
And Nathan was probably hit very early on based on the scene.
Nathan, my husband's been shot. Where? He's got. Oh my God. He's coming.
I crawled underneath my bed thinking, well, hell, maybe he won't find me. That's when I heard the door getting kicked in.
Oh my God, Bob!
What can you do?
Oh!
He went my mom and dad's room.
He's finished Nathan at that time.
Please come. Please come. He's gonna kill us.
My sister's in the bathroom and she's talking on the phone at that moment to the Houston County Sheriff's Office. She's trying to tell them that she needs help.
No. And all I heard was shots. You could smell the gunpowder. It was just shot after shot after shot.
Thought to myself, well, my parents are gone. I knew he was going to kill them. So I crawled back on top of my bed, waited for it.
He came to my door. He was flipping my light switch, trying to get my light to turn on. And after he flipped the switch probably 8 to 10 times, he got frustrated and turned around and walked down the hallway.
Then he come down the hall, and he popped the first shot. That was the one that went through my arm.
Let me see your face!
I threw the blanket down and said, you. And then that's when he popped another 2 rounds off. One of them hit my face. The other one went right through the back of my neck.
You dead yet?
And I honestly, in that moment, felt so alone. He had just been to my parents' room. I'm not hearing anything from them. I'm not hearing Cody anymore. I felt like it was just me.
And he turns the oven on, trying to light the house on fire.
And after probably about 5 minutes or so, I decided to get up. I was petrified. I thought, surely he's still around, he's still watching, he wants me to get up so he can finish me. Cody's covered in blood.
In spite of Cody's injuries, he's still able to help his sister.
Cody had to turn the stove off because I didn't know how.
911, what's your emergency?
I called the cops on the phone, told them, hey, you know, y'all need to get down here. My mom and dad are dead. And I've been shot 3 times. And they said, well, quit playing on the damn phone.
I'm hurting bad. Hurry, please.
And that's when I handed it to my sister.
Yes, my mother and dad were shot. And what about your brother? He was shot.
And I remember rushing through the phone call, telling her, I have to get off the phone, I have to get off the phone. He's gonna come back, he's gonna kill me.
No, please, I'm too scared.
Well, this help is on the way, okay?
Okay. Cody?
Keep on talking to him, make sure you don't go to sleep, okay?
Okay. Cody, you're so close, whatever you do.
Police rush to the scene and surround Barney's house.
It was obviously a dangerous situation. He had returned to his house, certainly where we knew he had guns, had more ammunition.
911, what's your emergency?
911. My name is Barney Fuller.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If I just pull up in the front of the house, I'll walk out.
Okay.
Otherwise I ain't gonna walk out.
Okay.
If they charge the house, there will be a shootout.
He came out of the house and there and surrendered to law enforcement.
In 2004, of capital murder and sentenced to death.
Barney acted strange after the murder. He immediately confessed to the shootings. He wanted to plead guilty.
In 2016, Barney Fuller is executed by lethal injection.
You fixing to put me to sleep?
Well, Fuller just ripped my family apart that night. I to this day wish Fuller would have killed himself before he killed them.
The ordeal tears apart the once peaceful haven of Lovelady.
Not only were there two people died that day, but those children then had to grow up without their father. And then Barney Fuller's children had to grow up without their father.
Linda leaves the neighborhood with her children.
You know, Bonnie and Jacob lost their family, their structure, their whole home at the same time that the Copelands did, but they were also sort of outcasts, and the shame that came with what their father did is immense. I don't know what to say, other than sometimes adults are stupid.
Cody and Courtney are raised by extended family and work hard to build a new life for themselves.
Mother's Day hits hard. You know, the anniversary, you could just be driving down the road and hear a song that was my dad's favorite or my mom's, and it all comes flooding back in.
I'm expecting my first child on March 26th this year, and naming him after my dad, and his name will be Nathan Ryder. At least I'll have that part of it.
A good neighborhood means different things to different people.
It was a really quiet community.
My wife, Barb.
And when those differences come to light...
What's he doing? You will send our kids with that thing!
They can reveal the darkness.
I need you to stop right now!
Living next door.
Why don't you mind your business?
Just flashing the gangs on.
My neighbors are cooking meth.
What?
There was a lot of shooting.
This one's for you, Daddy!
There was hatred between those neighbors.
You want to mess with my boy, Kevin?
He said, I am not leaving this neighborhood.
I knew right away blood's been building. It's gonna keep going.
Get down! You are crazy! You did this!
Deep in the Northern California woods, there's a remote community where people come to get away from it all.
It's called Rancho Tehama, the ranch.
It's a very hidden community, if you will. It's a destination point. It's not somewhere you just drive by on a Sunday afternoon.
That's what drew Danny Elliott and his mother, Diana Steele, to this hillside community many years ago.
All right, see ya.
Danny was the most unique person I ever met. Always had a joke, always had a smile, and never worried about nothing.
Danny and Diana are raising son Gage with the help of his girlfriend, Haley.
Haley, she was awesome with Gage. Danny had lost Gage's mom in a car accident about 5 or 6 years prior. So Haley was basically his mom.
They aren't the only family that settled here for a fresh start.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Johnny!
Johnny Fomathep served 9 years in the U.S. Air Force before moving here with his wife, Tiffany, and their sons a few years ago.
I just wanted to peace and quiet. You know, that's what I was in search of after the war.
Hey, don't forget, me and Tiff are grilling later, so don't forget to come by. Oh yeah, wouldn't miss it for the world.
His back, so we kind of made like a pact of, hey, you're gonna watch my property, I'm gonna watch your property. If there's any issue, we'll give each other a call. Where I was really lucky to have a neighbor that had the same mindset as me about what a community should be.
So, you guys meet the newbies yet?
Oh, we're just on our way over to meet him.
Oh, we'll come with you. Tiff, let's go.
A new couple has recently moved onto Bobcat Lane. Kevin Neal and his wife, Barbara Gleason, have come out here in search of a quieter life.
Kevin said, this is our dream home. Extremely private. And that's what Barbara and Kevin liked about that community.
Kevin refurbishes old motorcycles, and Barbara works in a pizza parlor.
Bring me home a slice? Whoa. It's the whole welcoming committee.
Welcome to Bobcat Lane. I'm Danny. This is my mother.
Diana.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
Hey. This is my wife, Barb.
Hi there, Johnny.
When I first met Kevin, you would easily confuse him with a college professor or school principal. He was a very...
The first time I met her, she seems like a nice person.
Nice machine you got there.
Can't wait to get this thing roaring. Kind of a hobby of mine. Perfect for out here, right?
Yeah.
Kevin says, why do you think I moved out here? I want privacy. I want to work on my motorcycles. That was his dream.
But it won't take much for that dream
What's wrong with everyone?
to turn into a nightmare.
Speaking of perfect, I'm actually having a barbecue. I live right over there. Would you guys come by tonight?
Why not? We'll stop by after my shift.
Terrific.
See you there. Perfect. See you.
They seem nice.
Sorry, guys. Guess needs a little more love.
Johnny and Tiffany are eager to show their new neighbors a little ranch hospitality.
Well, it smells good.
Hey, what's going on, bud? I can come. Hi there, nice to see you.
So glad you guys could make it. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey! I'll be over in a bit.
What's he doing?
Oh, he just stores scrap metal in the yard. That's his house.
For Danny, collecting scrap is just a way to make a living. But to Kevin, it's an eyesore.
That can't be good for property value.
Well, no one around here really minds, so don't worry about it.
You should probably do it somewhere else.
It seems like Kevin wanted to pick up the role of block captain. All of a sudden, he was kind of like a Mr. Know-It-All.
Danny! Burger's getting cold.
Actually, you know what? We should get going.
Yeah, I had a long day. We really just came by to drop the salad off. Thanks for inviting us.
All right.
The neighbors' warm welcome gets a cold shoulder from the newcomers.
How does a scrap monkey afford a car? Something more going on here.
As Kevin and Barbara continue to settle in,
Morning, Kev.
their neighbors continue to reach out.
Oh, she's a beauty.
Yeah, she is.
Daddy was known for a lot of things. He could get an old tractor cranked in a matter of minutes. He's really talented.
You know, if you tighten up that right there, it'll run a lot quieter.
Yeah, I got this, thanks.
Kevin was a mechanic. He was very good at taking things apart and putting them back together. He wanted to be alone. He didn't want to talk to neighbors.
Besides, I like it loud.
At that point, you know, his behavior and everything just started changing. Kevin would ride around with his dirt bike, full speed, swerve.
Aggressive, very hard swerve. Not afraid to wreck whatsoever. No fear.
It's a sport meant for the open road, not neighborhood streets.
Pretty active. He runs around a lot.
Oh, Gage is about the same age as my 7-year-old at the time. And the kids were coming home from the bus stop. They were walking. must have been going at least 40, 50 miles an hour.
Okay, come. You okay? Come here. Paige, you okay? Your knees are okay? Yeah. How about your hands? You all right? Let me see.
What's going on? Are you guys okay?
Yeah, I think so.
What happened?
The children are fine, but the adults are furious.
As the dirt bike was going past the kids, I mean, he's kicking up rocks and shooting them in the face. I mean, you're hurting my kids now.
Hey! What the hell's your problem, man?
You almost hit our kids with that thing.
Slow down. There's speed limits.
Don't tell me what to do. Get off my driveway!
There was some mind your own business.
I said get off my driveway! Now! What is wrong with everyone around here? All you wanted was some peace and quiet.
But things are only going to get louder.
This was escalating. This was going to get bad.
I knew it was you!
It was just a matter of time.
I had a bad feeling.
Hey! What the hell's your problem, man?
You almost hit our kids with that thing.
Slow down.
Don't tell me what to do.
When the families of Johnny Fomathep and Danny Elliott met Kevin and Barbara Neal,
This is my wife, Barb.
they thought they'd be a great addition to the community.
I'm actually having a barbecue. I live right over there.
Not everything about their new neighbors adds up.
How does a scrap monkey afford a car like that?
Besides, they'd rather be left alone.
Get off my driveway!
Kevin wanted to be alone. He didn't want to talk to neighbors.
What is wrong with everyone around here?
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
He looked shocked that somebody would actually step in and ask him not to be doing what he's doing. He took it very personally.
There's tension in the neighborhood, but Kevin and Barbara sense something else is in the air.
What is that smell?
When it became nighttime with the windows open, the breeze would come down through that little valley, and all of a sudden this smoke would start coming into their home.
Kevin is pretty sure he knows where it's coming from.
I mean, Danny's front gate is approximately 75 feet to 100 feet from Kevin's front gate. They could see each other, they could hear each other.
It isn't just the odor they find disturbing.
They saw a gentleman driving up in a vehicle. There was no party going on. There's no barbecuing going on here. What is this?
I'm gonna be sick.
It was so strong that Barbara was vomiting. And that's when he went over there to Danny's house to see what the heck he was doing. And he realized that it was what he believed methamphetamine smoke from cooking methamphetamine.
I don't believe this.
Just the thought of Danny doing drugs and selling drugs and people coming in and out of the yard, and he would become extremely agitated.
My neighbors are cooking meth.
What?
They called the sheriff's office.
Did you observe this firsthand?
But I'm not an idiot.
And the sheriff's office told them they had no units to respond out there unless it was an emergency.
I'll call it in, but at this time of night, emergencies get priority.
Kevin moved to Bobcat Lane to escape the hazards of urban life. Now, he believes he's living right next to them.
You know, like, just a thought. Just thought I'd let you know.
Thanks, Dad.
And even though they have no proof Danny is in the drug trade, Kevin and Barbara can't believe the other neighbors would turn a blind eye to his actions.
And they have kids.
But all isn't necessarily what it seems.
Danny was not cooking meth. I could see his backyard. His house is a small little house. Kevin was just making it up.
What is his problem?
Kevin still insists Danny is cooking meth, so he sets out to prove it.
Kevin said, we need to put some cameras in there. And that's how that camera situation came about.
If Kevin catches Danny on tape, he believes the police will have to do something about it.
One of the cameras was mounted on his house in the front towards Diane's home, and another one was on a fence. The video captured vehicles coming in.
None of the neighbors are happy about the cameras. Kevin also records Danny's property on his cell phone. It only makes things worse between them.
One incident, which Kevin did capture on video, Danny was at his fence, and he would go over the fence like this and just stare at it.
He's got a blue bandana on. He's flashing me gang signs. I'm just gonna shut the camera off. You've seen, this is what he does the entire time.
There's no end in sight to the tension on Bobcat Lane. And things get more disturbing at night.
There was a lot of shooting. It was just a weird feeling hearing gunshots.
Mom! It's okay. Johnny! Where are you going?
Stay here.
The gunfire has neighbors up in arms and ready to defend themselves.
You scared me. You almost gave me a heart attack. Let's go.
It was rapid fire, and you knew that that was an AR. Danny knew it was an AR. They were afraid.
That amount of gunfire going off, I thought for a second I was back in a war zone. It was Kevin. He's looking for every target he could find.
Kevin! Look out!
I saw what you call a poisonous plant waiting to be born.
It was him!
I'm not the one cooking meth!
So now the frustration is building up with them.
Kevin and Barbara Neal sure their new neighbor Danny is dealing drugs. But the families of Johnny Fomathep and Danny Elliott have their own concerns about Kevin.
Ben! Look out!
Whoa, whoa, easy there.
And no one feels safe on either side.
This is crazy. The amount of money it costs for 300 to 400 rounds is not cheap for any rifle. If someone's willing to pay that much money just to have a good time like that, to me, I knew right away, this is a prelude to something bigger.
And Kevin's fixation on his neighbor is about to raise the stakes.
I know, just mind your business.
In the very beginning, they were okay with each other. They said hi to each other, no big deal. Then it seems like Danny was his target.
Good day, sir. We need to search the premises.
After repeated calls from Kevin, Police decide to investigate the allegations.
I don't know what this is about, but yeah, sure.
They were told that methamphetamines were being cooked on the property.
He told me he was showing them the whole entire property. And there's no sign Danny cooking meth in his home at all.
Thank you very much for your cooperation. We're on our way.
I can't believe he's getting away with this.
Kevin did believe in his own mind, like it was true and factual, but he had no evidence of any kind.
You did this! I know it was you! Why don't you mind your business?
They've been harassing my family since they got here.
If Kevin and Barbara think the police will solve their problems, they're wrong.
We gotta have a talk.
But what?
You can't go around making false accusations like that.
I'm not the one cooking meth.
I just came out of their house. They're clean.
The sheriff then mentioned to Kevin, if you make a false complaint one more time, we're gonna arrest you. Well, that's when he started getting really pissed.
And I'm not the one turning a blind eye to it. You have criminals driving up and down this lane at all hours of the night. Dangerous criminals!
Hey, I need you to stop right now.
If he wants the county to take my kid or what, because, you know, that's a way that's going to hurt Danny quite a bit if Gage is taken away from him.
This whole neighborhood's cracked.
Kevin just got a little bit more irate, I think, after his plan of trying to get the cops to raid Danny's house failed. He was proven wrong, and he was embarrassed.
What's wrong with everyone? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with everybody?
Kevin is still convinced he's in the right. And when police leave, he and Barbara are on their own.
Kevin believed that the police did not like him. Kevin believed that the police thought he was crazy.
So he's ready to defend himself if he needs to.
I believe that's why he went out there in his backyard with that AR-15 to let people know, I'm armed, don't come over here and hurt me or my family.
There was a lot of shooting the whole night. You never know if bullets gonna fly through the walls.
Are you kidding me right now?
He's doing things that are against people's, well-being. There's no need to be shooting 300 rounds a night while people have to go to work today.
That's enough.
This time, it's Danny's turn to make a call.
Danny had called the sheriff's office, as did Diane. The sheriff's office did respond.
Heard calls about shots. No shooting past 11.
You'll come down here and harass about shooting cans on my property, but not my neighbors about cooking meth?
Kevin was so angry at law enforcement, bitter at law enforcement, that they wouldn't help him.
No shots past 11.
Quiet returns to the neighborhood, but that doesn't mean peace is restored.
And Danny tells me, well, at least it's over. Then I kind of turned to him and said, for now, people like that don't give up that easily.
As soon as the police leave, Kevin starts up again.
It's okay. It's okay.
And no matter how many people called the cops to tell them there was gunshots going off, Lorenzo did nothing about it. So they just quit calling. It became pointless to call them.
Ranch is no more.
Hey, bud. Dad's gonna drive you to school. Okay?
Gage was no longer allowed to play outside. For at least 8 months, he wasn't allowed to play outside because it wasn't safe.
I'm getting so sick of this.
Danny didn't like violence, but you could see it weighing on him.
Like many of the neighbors, Tiffany and Johnny take precautions.
Junior, let's go!
We couldn't even invite friends to come up. because we couldn't guarantee their safety to have like a barbecue or whatnot. At that point, I tell my wife, and I want her to text me every time she goes and leaves the house to drop the kids off.
I avoided Kevin altogether.
She kind of scared of living near him. She was licensed to carry a gun.
As the street turns against him, Kevin keeps up his close watch.
They could see each other, they could hear each other, just like a hunter waiting to hear the next move. So often they'll drive by, they'll flip them off too.
The hate built up over months. There was hatred between those neighbors.
I'll drive you to work.
Even though they don't live on Bobcat Lane, local residents like Coy Ferreira get pulled into the feud.
Danny, how you doing, man? Is that the guy with the assault rifle?
Yeah, it is.
Now Kevin believes that everyone in town is against him.
I swear I'm at my breaking point.
Don't know your neighbors until you really know your neighbors, I guess.
Kevin continues to investigate Danny, hoping to gather evidence, but his proof is never conclusive.
They're actually cleaning up the meth lab.
So he remains vigilant.
Kevin would stalk the property. He'd hear it.
Kevin doesn't take kindly to those he deems intruders.
Get off my property!
This is not your property.
I'm so sick of you and your family!
Oh, for crying out loud.
This whole neighborhood's cracked!
You would never think in like 1,000 years you're gonna have a crazy neighbor like this that's gonna take it to the next level.
The tension between the families of Kevin Neal and Danny Elliott has gone from bad to worse.
Kevin was growing frustration, and he would look me right square in the eye and say, "Do you understand me? I am not leaving this neighborhood."
What is wrong with everybody? What's wrong with you?
And now, the feud has drawn first blood. While Haley is rushed to the hospital, police try to piece together what happened.
It was him! I'm telling you, it was him!
She's crazy! They tried to kill me!
But who attacked who is what police have to figure out.
Get off my property!
Kevin said Haley and Diane would always harass me. He told them to get off the property. Well, they weren't on his property. They were at his property line.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And it escalated from there. Kevin said Haley had pulled a knife.
Do you even know what you're doing to my family?
He tried to take the knife from her.
He told deputies, oh, she must have somehow stabbed herself in this incident.
She had a knife! What was I supposed to do? I defended myself! That whole family's nuts! Right down to that snotty-nosed kid!
That's not true at all! He's a liar! He attacked us! You were just walking through the bush!
Diana and Haley have a different story to tell.
He apparently shot at them, not hitting anybody.
So sick of you and your family!
Oh, for crying out loud!
This whole fight started that ended up with Haley getting stabbed.
Tell me I didn't do anything.
Kevin said he was just shooting at some cans, like target practice.
Evidence supporting
bullet holes near where the two of them had been walking. So pretty much concluded that Kevin's story didn't quite add up as far as how he was the victim.
Not only is Kevin arrested, all his guns are taken away. But the war on Bobcat Lane is far from over.
He was home from jail before they got back from the hospital.
His bail is pretty high, $150,000.
Kevin's family posts bail, and he is released.
How is he even allowed back here? I can't take this anymore.
At that point, Danny got really upset, and things escalated from there. After he got arrested, boy, did the volume go up.
The police may have taken Kevin's guns, but that doesn't mean he can't get more.
He received it in the mail order and put it together.
This one's for you, Daddy! Oh, family!
Kevin's voice was very unique, so the whole entire neighborhood is listening.
Right down to that snotty-nosed.
Danny did seem very scared of the whole idea of this crazy guy shooting in the middle of the night, screaming threats of, I'm gonna kill you and your family, I'm gonna hunt down your boy. He didn't know what to do.
You wanna mess with my boy, Kevin? You're gonna get through me first!
You know he's got a gun too, right? You know he can come back here?
That's enough.
I can't take it anymore. I want to move.
We're not moving! Not another word.
People started getting more worried now. Now you have a guy that just stabbed somebody and beat up somebody. He was going to face and lose.
Kevin's dream of a peaceful country life is dead, and he vows revenge on his neighbors and their families. No one could ever have imagined how far he would take it.
It was 7:55. Me and my daughter arrived at Rancho Tejano School.
Hey, Gage. What's up, buddy? How was the game?
Pretty good.
It was good?
Okay, let's go. Gonna be late.
That morning, I packed my kids in the car, and, I drove my kids to school like normal.
But this is not going to be a normal day.
Pool alongside me. I seen it was Kevin. I told my kids to get down, and then I seen the first bullet coming through right in front of my face, hitting the window.
Get down!
I have blood coming up. I wasn't aware of where my injuries were. I just know that I couldn't breathe.
The feud between Kevin and his neighbors has taken a bloody turn, and he isn't finished yet.
He goes towards the school. Because a couple of days before, he mentioned he wanted to kill Gage at the school.
Pretty good.
And all of a sudden, I heard a pop. It sounded just like a firecracker.
Everybody come on inside the school, please. Now, go. Hide behind your desk. Come on, quickly. We're going into school right now. So everybody come on, quickly, quickly, quickly.
All the students ran into the classrooms.
They had just gone on lockdown after hearing some of the shots.
But locks won't stop what's coming.
And here we have 6-year-old Sevens who have no idea what's going on. And they're just hiding underneath a desk. And in my mind, I was thinking that he's gonna pick us off one by one. His eyes were black. I mean, it's like he wasn't there. He was like looking into complete darkness. And that's when the first gunshots started firing through the window. And that's when I knew that this was actually for real.
I told my kids to get down.
Get down!
Kevin is taking his vengeance out on his neighbors and their children.
So now he's going on his hunt.
They're shooting at Rancho Tehama School right now, but I got kids. Okay. Can you please send somebody? There's been shooting at the little school. It's not big. They don't have protection. Okay, wait.
It felt like a war zone in there. My heart hit my gut, telling me that this is it. This is the time that I'm actually going to die, along with half a dozen students. There was multiple shots coming from the direction of the school, and everybody knows where the school's at.
Jesse Sanders lives nearby.
I ran about a mile in less than 30 seconds. I don't know how, but I did.
Hey! Over here!
I just told him, hey, why don't you shoot over here instead of shooting at all those women and kids, you punk ass, you know, just whatever I could think to make him mad enough to not focus on all the kids inside. And then his gun jammed, and he just started screaming at the top of his lungs, like, ah, like he was so mad that no bullets hit me, that he just stopped all of a sudden, took off.
Kevin doesn't get far.
When he realized he couldn't get through the gate and the sheriff's department was on him, Kevin took his own life.
And that was it. All of it happened in less than an hour, I believe.
It was about 15 minutes later, I heard the last bullets finally stopped.
Police credit the quick thinking of the school secretary for saving the lives of more than 100 children that day, including Danny's 7-year-old son, Gage.
And out of nowhere, he just says,
He was coming for me.
and I was like, what do you mean?
That means you're all dead.
He just said his dad and his grandma are dead.
I'm sure everyone's fine, Gage.
No.
Police race to the quiet street where Gage's family lives and make a horrifying discovery.
He was right. They were dead.
Police believe Danny and his mother, Diana, were Kevin's first victims that morning. An additional 5 adults and 5 children are wounded, along with Tiffany and her son.
I walk into the ER. My 10-year-old, he was laying there. He said, Dad, I got shot in the leg twice, but I need you to check on Mom. He was more worried about his mother than his own self.
I was listed in critical condition. They said that my lungs was bleeding, it was collapsed. My scapula was shattered, and My small intestines were cut up in, 3 different parts.
An hour became 18 hours, and fortunately she came out of the surgery okay. Everything was good. But it was tough to see your wife injured like that. I feel we were one of the lucky families.
Kevin's rampage results in the deaths of 5 people.
Kevin was apparently just driving around and shooting at random.
There's another vehicle coming toward him, and
that's the best deputies could figure, given who the victims were and no seeming connection.
The shootings devastate the community. But the big question is, what made Kevin finally snap?
It really all started the night before.
Some believe that as Kevin's rage against his neighbors consumed him, he turned his fury on his wife.
I want to move! We're not moving! Not another word.
She was afraid to. But she doesn't want to say anything.
Authorities said that Kevin shot his wife at home.
Kevin cut a hole in the floor of their kitchen, threw her in the hole, and covered her up with a tarp.
Once he took that step, there was no going back.
I think when he took Barb's life, he done lost everything.
And with nothing left to lose, he decided to rid the neighborhood of his enemies, their children, and anyone else he came across.
I don't think anyone was against him. He was just making it up.
Danny and me went through so many situations that, you can't build a bond like that with anybody else. He was my best friend. I miss him every day.
Haley survives. She was out of town during the shooting. Gage is sent to live with extended family.
Gage got the worst of the whole deal. He's lost his whole family.
Since the murders, people on Bobcat Lane have begun the hard journey towards healing. Kevin's house has been bulldozed to the ground.
My little community in Rancho Tehama came together. They didn't only take care of my family, they took care of everybody. The kids at school, even if they weren't injured, violence of this nature will never leave you. It's always good to move forward. What else can you do?